Tonight, the downpour that turned into a deluge. A month's worth of rain swallows suburbs in just hours, catching many off guard. Impending changes to gun laws spark a firearm frenzy. More than 500 sold since the Bondi massacre. The minor argument that led to a fatal attack on an Australian tourist in Thailand. Major transport changes that'll keep the Mardi Gras party going well into the night. Magda Szubanski finishes her cancer treatment. She's not cured, but she has some good news. And fans in a frenzy as the NRL's Footy Fest ramps up in Las Vegas.
This is 9 News with Georgie, Gardner.
Good evening. It came with little warning, an afternoon shower that quickly became a disaster. The late summer storm delivering some suburbs more rain in a few hours than they'd usually see in a month, catching many Sydney-siders off guard during peak hour.
6:50 p.m, Fairfield East. What started as a downpour quickly turned to a deluge. The suburbs submerged, homes inundated, cars swallowed. With no way in and no way out, residents were stranded, but help wasn't far.
And we're stuck inside, we can't go outside, and I call someone to come help us, and they come.
This is how high the water was at Mary Sheba's house. She was among 12 people rescued from the street.
It was very scary. I was crying, I was scared, I don't know what I do.
Round the corner at Vine Street, a similar story, 6 rescues.
I look down, the water's 2 metres deep. He can't get out of the water, telling me there's 2 other people on the other side they can't come across. He's sitting on top of the car with a female, 40-year-old. They can't get out.
At Wetherill Park, cars were swallowed by the water, while a kayak saved this man stuck at a Canley Vale car park.
Mission successful.
From Parramatta to Strathfield, drivers ignored the warnings and drove through the floodwaters, and for many, it didn't end well. At Baralla, there was a river of rainwater. While in the city, it was the foot traffic that copped a drenching. These council workers left with quite an ambitious mop-up. The city copped more than 100 millimetres of rain in just 3 hours yesterday evening, swamping the SES with more than 450 calls for help and 42 rescues. Massilia Eiley, 9 News.
Let's go now to Kate Creedon. And Kate, where did we see the worst of the weather?
Georgie, the rain was pretty widespread as that slow-moving trough crossed over Sydney last night. The city picking up 86 millimetres of rain. To put that into perspective, that's almost 3/4 of the monthly average rainfall in just a few hours. Heavy rain smashing our suburbs to an incredible 134 millimetres falling at Abbotsford, 122 at Lidcombe, while our northern beaches also copped a soaking. More than 100 millimetres recorded at Avalon and in Mona Vale. We were heading for a drier than average month, but thanks to last night's downpour, we're now on track to have a wetter than average February. So far, Sydney has recorded 130 millimetres of rain, most of that in the past 24 hours. That slow-moving trough also brought some cooler weather today. The city reached 24.1 and 23.5 in our west, which is about 7 degrees below average. Tomorrow is the last day of summer, but will we see some sunshine? I'll let you know after sport. Georgie?
We'll see you soon. Thank you, Kate. The state's police minister is refusing to reveal how the Bondi Beach terrorist was granted a gun licence years before he unleashed carnage. And with new firearm licensing restrictions still months away, alarming revelations tonight that hundreds more guns have been bought in the 2 months since the attack.
It's a horrifying fact of the Bondi Beach massacre that terrorist shooter Sajid Akram legally held those high-powered weapons.
Why shouldn't we know now how he got a gun licence?
I've had a full briefing, but I will not be discussing that. There is a significant court case here for murder.
The police minister and her top brass today under parliamentary examination.
So you know how he got it?
Yes.
And what measures have you taken to address any issues that were raised in that briefing?
So we've obviously made the changes to the legislation.
That crackdown, including a cap of 4 firearms per person, was rushed through state parliament on Christmas Eve, but actually enforcing complex new licence changes could take months.
The regulation is due for it to be rewritten by September.
But it's good for optics, right, before Christmas to pass laws to say we're getting tough on gun laws.
I absolutely reject that. It was about making changes to keep people safe.
A Port Arthur-style gun buyback could still start before September, but in the meantime, there's been such a rush on new gun licences, the registry has had to hire more staff. Late this afternoon, new numbers reveal 545 more guns have been bought in the 2 months since the laws passed, an unintended consequence the Liberals say warrants a review. Liz Daniels, 9 News.
A woman's been killed after being hit by a car at Hurlstone Park early this morning. Emergency services were called to Creedon Street just after 4:30, where they found the 56-year-old with serious head injuries. She was taken to Royal Prince Alfred Hospital, where she later died. The driver, aged in her 40s, was taken to hospital for mandatory testing. Revelations tonight that police are preparing for 5 so-called ISIS brides and 7 of their children to arrive in New South Wales from camps in Syria. But officers can't say where they'll settle.
It is proposed that we have those conversations prior to them proceeding through immigration. When they pass through immigration, they can go wherever they like. They're unregulated.
And if they decline to participate in those conversations?
That will be their right.
Officers have confirmed they're still in contact with the cohort that returned 5 years ago. A father from Sydney's Northern Beaches has been killed at a tourist hotspot in Thailand. A single blow to the neck leading to the death of Alan Jolliffe during a road rage incident in a street in Phuket.
A confrontation lasting just seconds, but with dire consequences. Alan Jolliffe arguing with another man on a street in Phuket, an unknown woman trying to push them apart before a single hit is thrown. The split-second action enough to knock the Aussie father to the ground. He was taken to hospital but couldn't be saved. This happened on Wednesday afternoon in the Patong province, an area bustling with tourists. The incident breaking on local news as police arrested a 29-year-old Swedish national.
เป็นชายชาวสวีเดนกับชายชาวออสเตรเลีย
It's believed an argument over someone beeping their scooter horn led to the deadly confrontation. The 57-year-old victim is originally from Liverpool in the UK, but he's been living in Sydney and running a painting business on the Northern Beaches. The Australian government is now providing assistance to his family. Helene Lambetsos, 9 News.
Ex-Liberal MP Rory Amon has taken the stand at his trial, fighting allegations he sexually and indecently assaulted a 13-year-old boy. The former politician maintains the teenager lied about his age, claiming if he'd known the truth, he would have cut communication.
Rory Amon in the witness box, turning the clock back to 2017. He was 27 years old and running for Northern Beaches Council when it's alleged he met with an underage boy for sex. The then political hopeful using a burner phone with a fake name on hookup sites, fearing if his sexual preference were to become public knowledge, it could impact his career. The question of age was asked. I don't recall by whom. I do recall that he told me that he was 17. If a person was under 18, was that an issue for you? What was an issue for me was if they were under 16. Did you believe he was 17? Yes. I assumed he was in year 11 or 12. The teenager was 13 at the time, but says he lied and believed he bumped his age up to 15. Today, Rory Amon told the jury if he'd have known that, he would have cut all communication. Rory Amon was catapulted from local councillor to state parliament in 2024, elected as the member for Pittwater. He quit politics to defend the 10 charges of sexual and indecent assault. The trial continues next week. Tiffany Genders, 9 News.
Disturbing new details have emerged over a kidnapping at Mount Pritchard that yesterday escalated into a covert police operation. Nine's Bailey Kenzie's in the newsroom with the latest for us. And Bailey, What did we learn today in court?
Yeah, chilling details in court today, Georgie. The magistrate branded the alleged offending as grave and serious. It was on Tuesday the 53-year-old father was snatched outside his Mount Pritchard tobacconist. Tactical police stormed a Dural home yesterday, finding the victim and one of his alleged captors, a 16-year-old boy. It's been revealed in the children's court today the victim was allegedly filmed in a video sent to his family. Prosecutors say he was beaten with a baseball bat, golf clubs and electrical cords. It's claimed threats were made to his children, one of the captors saying, "Even if I get the feeling you've got the police involved, your father can rest in peace." The Dural home belongs to the accused teenager's father. The child was on bail at the time of the alleged offending. His release application was refused today, and Georgie, he returns to court next Friday.
OK, Bailey Kenzie, thank you. Hillary Clinton says she wants to see the truth come out after being grilled for more than 6 hours about links to Jeffrey Epstein. The former US Secretary of State insists she never met the convicted pedophile, claiming she's the victim of a political witch hunt.
In Bill and Hillary Clinton's hometown in New York State, the stage set for a showdown inside this local performing arts centre. The former US First Lady and Secretary of State, first to be quizzed on her ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices.
Ghislaine Maxwell, a guest at the couple's daughter's wedding in 2010.
She came as the +1, the guest of someone who was invited.
The Clintons aren't accused of wrongdoing, but the former president spent time with Jeffrey Epstein, flying on the pedophile's plane at least 16 times.
The connection that he had with Epstein ended several years before anything about Epstein's criminal activities came to light.
The closed-door testimony is being filmed and the footage will be released. The Clintons want it broadcast in real time, but that's against the committee's rules.
What was important for her is that her answers to the questions not be edited.
The deposition briefly paused after one Republican representative leaked photos from inside. The testimony, part of a House Oversight Committee investigation, but millions of Epstein files still haven't been made public.
Let's get President Trump in front of our committee.
The Clintons initially refusing to testify, slamming the Republican-led investigation as a distraction and political theatre, but ultimately agreed after being threatened with being held in contempt of Congress, a criminal charge. Bill Clinton's deposition in the coming hours will be the first time a sitting or former president has appeared before a congressional committee in half a century. In Washington, D.C., Hannah Sinclair, 9 News.
The state government is tonight denying it covered up a deadly mould outbreak at Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. 2 people died and 4 have fallen seriously ill in a cluster of fungal infections within the transplant unit. The government has rejected claims it kept the outbreak quiet.
There is in no way a sense of cover-up or not informing the community. That didn't happen because we were telling hundreds of people.
An investigation found the spores had spread to 4 floors of the hospital, and tonight the outbreak is still being linked to construction on site. The Federal Treasurer has all but confirmed the government will clamp down on tax breaks that benefit investors in housing. It comes as former Liberal leader Susan Lee today triggered the countdown for a by-election in her regional seat by officially resigning from Parliament.
Susan Lee's exit from the Liberal leadership a fortnight ago was striking for its generosity.
It is important that the new leader gets clear air.
Her final exit from politics coming today, with a gentle dig at those who brought her down, issuing a statement on her immediate resignation. "It will be for commentators to measure my leadership," she said, saying she was proud of her approach on tax, energy and national security, noting the coalition's re-adoption of many of these directions and policies in recent days and weeks.
I think Susan was leaving a fair bit of the commentators in her comments too.
Susan Lee's New South Wales regional seat of Farrer now at serious risk of falling to an independent.
People are really disenfranchised and they're angry.
They are, and they're looking for alternatives.
The Farrer by-election will be a health check on the Liberal Party and a reality check on One Nation's grand ambitions. The Labor Party may not bother with a candidate, but its tax policies will be part of the contest.
We know that there is a sense of intergenerational unfairness in the tax system and in the housing market as well.
The Treasurer all but confirming the government plans to curb negative gearing and the capital gains tax discount, which both make housing attractive for investors. Combined, negative gearing and the CGT discount will cost taxpayers $13.6 billion this year, with $7.5 billion, or 55% of the tax breaks, going to the richest 10% of households.
If you want more of something, you don't put a tax on it.
But some Liberals support tax breaks being contained, including former Treasurer Joe Hockey.
Negative gearing should be skewed towards new housing.
So you shift investor capital to new stock. Well, that's actually a supply boosting change.
Andrew Provan, 9 News.
Las Vegas has become the epicentre of rugby league, with tens of thousands of fans in town for the NRL season opener. James Bracey joins us now from the action. And James, what a sight on Fremont Street today.
Georgie, it is an experience like no other in rugby league, and if the players didn't realise how special this weekend was already, they certainly do now, putting on a show in true Vegas fashion.
It's the league takeover that rivals the excitement of the actual game. 16,000 fans from all over the world travelling to Old Vegas. The man behind the Fremont Street concept blown away.
It's a bucket list item. That I never realised how tribal rugby league is, but when you see this, you realise how much the team means to them, how much rugby league means to them.
Before the teams arrived, worldwide star Jim Jeffries turned the air blue on stage.
Vegas is happy to see you.
And was wound up quickly. Maybe he's excited because his team is back in the comp.
Saturday will be the first time I've been to a rugby league game in 26 years.
Is that because of the Bears, yeah?
Because of the Bears, but now the Bears are back, I'm back, baby. Let's go.
The Cowboys were the first NRL team on stage, and it didn't take long for the dance moves to start. Murray Tuolangi setting the tone. The move of the night belonged to a night. It was Greg Marju's Heartstopper. Radman Best had to be coaxed to getting into the groove.
Oh, they bullied me into it,
So what do you call that?
A gabba. Little gabba, yeah, that's all I know.
The Dragons are a slightly more conservative mob, but their skipper is willing to take on his very Vegas nickname.
Elvis is the king, but you're known as king as well.
Yeah, I'll adopt it over here. It's a bit of a laugh, and hopefully I can play like one on the weekend. But it's, as I said, it's special, mate.
The Dogs fans were right into it, and the players embraced the moment. The biggest surprise, Max King doing his Michael Jackson move.
All those practices in the lounge room have paid off. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's a walk of a lifetime walking through there.
Skipper Stephen Crichton and his sunglasses also a showstopper. He gets the occasion.
You have to enjoy these experiences. There's not anything like it. And I feel like the boys had a good taste of it today and got amongst the fans and got amongst the vibes.
In Las Vegas, Danny Weidler, 9 News.
And Georgie, I can confirm the rugby league world has taken over Vegas. We'll have more on all that and the rest of the day's sport a little later on in the bulletin.
Certainly looks that way. Thank you, Brace. See you soon. Still to come tonight, claims a big-name insurer shortchanged thousands of customers, allegedly robbing them of $3 million worth of discounts. That's still ahead. A weekend warning for swimmers and surfers why our beaches might have more shark sightings than usual. One and done, the modern hip replacements that are going the distance. And just in time for Mardi Gras, Magda Zabansky sends a message to revellers while sharing some positive news about her own. ASIC is taking insurance company Budget Direct to court, alleging thousands of customers were denied advertised discounts of up to 30% after making simple changes to their policies, such as updating home addresses.
This was advertising seen by millions of Australians, and ASIC alleges it was misleading because Budget Direct didn't tell customers that these discounts could be removed.
Budget Direct says the errors were inadvertent and has refunded $3.8 million, but ASIC is still pushing for fines to be issued. A mother has issued a warning to Aldi mobile customers after hackers stole more than $30,000 from her son due to what she says was the telco's lack of cybersecurity. Marianne Lancaster says the bank account was compromised after it was unlocked by a text authentication code.
By getting into the account with my primary number, they had then ported Campbell's phone number to their own. So the authentication codes were going through to them, not to me and not to Campbell.
Aldi says they take security incredibly seriously and suspend services when unauthorised transactions are detected. This time tomorrow night, the city will be ablaze with colour as the 48th Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras gets underway. And this year, the party can go on all night, with public transport running around the clock during the event for the first time.
It's that night of the year Sydney doesn't just light up, it explodes with colour, glitter, feathers, rainbows and plenty of brave souls bearing it all.
It's about self-expression and it's about belonging to a community.
A loud and proud celebration tomorrow night, marking the 48th Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras. Close to 10,000 marchers getting ready to strut their stuff.
So this year's obviously shrimp on the barbie.
Some cruising in style.
We've got around about 190 bikes this year. I still get covered in goosebumps. I get happy tears in my eyes.
The original 78ers who first marched only to be violently broken up by police, among those still driving change.
That wave of love that comes from the crowd is quite extraordinary.
An outpouring that will this year also honour Maxi Shield, the iconic Sydney drag queen, passing away just days ago.
Maxi had the courage and the grace to take me and the then police minister on a late night tour of Oxford Street and its surrounds to see firsthand what was happening and what could be done.
For the first time, metro and rail services will be running for 24 hours with an extra 300 bus services. Roads around Hyde Park closing from 4 p.m, followed by major closures along Oxford Street, Flinders Street and Anzac Parade from Darlinghurst through to Moore Park. And this is where the magic happens, the final touches on some of the 170 floats, nearly 50 years of pride packed into each one.
Well, I first marched when I was 15 and I marched with my mum, and that was a moment of us coming together to celebrate me coming out as a gay man.
Hayley Francis, 9 News.
And beloved Australian comedian Magda Szubanski has wished everyone a happy Mardi Gras before sharing the news that she's now in remission from cancer.
I've completed chemo and I am now in remission. So, big relief. It's not a cure, but because I got a good remission, that hopefully means that I'll have, keep the cancer at bay for a good long time.
Magda was diagnosed with stage 4 mantle cell lymphoma early last year. Ahead in 9 News, a much-loved nature corridor along the northern beaches is set to be sold to create more housing, but locals aren't going to let it go without a fight. Why drinkers with a hard-earned thirst now want a mid-strength beer. And our most decorated Winter Olympian goes back to where it all began. Beachgoers are being urged to exercise caution while swimming and surfing along our coast this weekend. Recent heavy rainfall has left the water murky and pushed fish and debris closer to shore, attracting sharks, with researchers tagging one in the harbour earlier this afternoon. You can download the Shark Smart app to check in on recent shark activity. The state government will soon sell off 9 more parcels of land across New South Wales to boost our housing supply. But it's going to have a fight on its hands on the northern beaches, with Belrose residents vowing to protect local bushland from development.
A green corridor under threat, and these residents are seeing red.
It is very, very hard to recreate a corridor like that.
We need to have these green spaces for us, for our children, grandchildren.
The state government announcing a 6-hectare nature corridor from the Darrigal National Park to Oxford Falls will be sold for housing.
I know people need homes, but so do the animals, our wildlife. It's one of those last big corridors that are left.
The government insists biodiversity will be protected, with just 24 homes to be built throughout the corridor.
This is really a drop in the bucket that comes with a lot of associated damage to the environment and community trust as well. In reality, we've got a critical shortage of playing fields. This is a fire sale of a lot of land across the state.
In total, 9 sites across New South Wales are to be sold, including 11 hectares on Camden Valley Way, Edmondson Park, and a block on Derby Street in Penrith. The government declaring all the sites surplus land that will be activated to deliver homes that families need.
Clearly, Sydney is growing. The government could stick to the real plan, which is to have greater densities in the middle and urban parts of Sydney and not keep trampling over bushland.
The unusual shape of the land being sold in Belrose also giving locals a chuckle.
The 3 sites the state government have chosen have quite an unfortunate and phallic appearance when looked at from a topographic map. That's right, we're being shafted.
Elizabeth Ryan, 9 News.
The US and Iran have made significant progress during talks on Tehran's nuclear program, according to mediators. But there's still no deal locked in as the US continues to move more of its military into the Middle East.
US military muscle moved from the UK to the Middle East. F-22 stealth fighter jets now in southern Israel as negotiators from the United States and Iran met in Geneva attempting to reach a nuclear deal. The high-stakes, indirect discussions reportedly lasted 6 hours. The talks breaking down in the middle of the day, Iran's foreign minister saying, "We have started serious discussions about elements of a deal on nuclear issues and the removal of sanctions." But despite reports of progress, the US military build-up across the Middle East grows. Its largest aircraft carrier, Gerald Ford, now in Israeli waters. The United States yet to comment on the latest negotiations. Iran's foreign minister adding, "On some issues we are close to an understanding. On others, we still have a difference of opinion." The lead negotiator from Oman stating, "We will resume soon after consultation in the respective capitals. Discussions on a technical level will take place next week in Vienna."
If the president really wants to go to war, put troops in the field, he needs to come to Congress for authority.
And the world will be watching. In London, Mimi Becker, 9 News.
Ukraine's president says trilateral talks for a peace deal are now likely to resume in Abu Dhabi early next month. Ukrainian and US officials have met in Geneva for discussions on post-war reconstruction, despite a current deadlock in negotiations with Russia. Netflix says it won't raise its offer to buy Hollywood studio Warner Brothers Discovery, paving the way for Paramount's Skydance to take over. A bidding war between the two companies had been going for months, with Paramount upping its offer just a few days ago. Australia's most decorated Winter Olympian, Scotty James, has received a hero's welcome at his old school, Tintern Grammar, in Melbourne's East. The champion snowboarder was showered in applause this morning after winning silver at Milano Cortina.
Coming back to Oz, it's also something now I really enjoy it and lap it up, because when I was younger I wasn't here as much.
The 31-year-old says he'll be back in the half-pipe for his 6th Winter Olympics in 2030. Ahead in 9 News, an Australian cruise liner trading Sydney for an international home port. That story shortly. It's a picnic staple and sometimes called a bachelor's handbag. But some barbecue chickens are better than others. Next, which supermarket comes out on top? And James and Dragons duo will be under extreme pressure in Las Vegas.
Hello again, Georgie. Yes, their new halves pairing of Kyle Flanagan and Daniel Atkinson will be under the microscope here in Vegas when they take on the Bulldogs. Shortly we hear why. They're ready to handle it. Rabbitohs veteran Cody Walker explains why he's primed for his best season in years. Plus, the Matildas' excitement at having Mary Fowler back in action for the Asian Cup.
We are expecting some showers over the weekend, but nothing like what we've seen over the last few days. I'll have the forecast shortly.
Kyle Flanagan knows the heat will be on he and new halves partner Daniel Atkinson when the Dragons take on the Bulldogs this Sunday. But Flanagan is confident that they can handle the pressure even under the bright lights of Las Vegas.
What's Vegas without a card trick? The Dragons king was certainly bamboozled.
Card tricks. Has Vegas got you yet?
Yeah, it took me for a little bit of money the last couple of days, but they just did another one, and I don't know how they do it. So it's a good part of the world.
You got a bit of magic up your sleeve for the weekend.
Hopefully we can create something.
And the Dragons have their own magic act. The impossible to separate Couchman twins.
I'm not going to pretend. Can you know who's who?
Oh, Brian, that's Toby. Toby.
All right. Do your teammates get you confused still or not?
Some do, some are really good. We've been here for a few years now, so some of the boys are good, but some of the coaches don't know either, so you're not the only one.
What's the tell? What's the pick? How do we distinguish between you?
I don't know, I think I'm a bit bigger. He's taller though, so I don't know.
Who's the better player?
I'm not too sure, I'm better looking.
On a day when Ozfest was launched to promote Australian brands in Las Vegas, Valentine Holmes was getting American airtime. The club's fans showed up in their droves and are full of hope. The main man is now Daniel Atkinson, but Kyle Flanagan knows what the heat is like.
The pressure on you and Dan, you ready?
Yeah, mate, nothing new, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
I spoke to your dad and he said you picked up Daniel Atkinson for the first day of training and drove him to training. So you've obviously part of forming a relationship?
Yeah, it's been really good, mate. He's actually moved down south now, so we won't be road tripping together, but yeah, our connection started from day one and we're looking to build that throughout the year.
Jaden Sewer called the pair of you a pair of fleas.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what he meant by that, but yeah, better fun and games.
In Las Vegas, Danny Weidler, 9 News.
South veteran Cody Walker believes he's primed for his best season in years. Walker will team up with Latrell Mitchell and David Fafita in a new-look left edge that has plenty of point-scoring potential.
Cody Walker finally fit and firing at the start of a year.
I'm really looking forward to starting the season without limping into round one. I think I haven't played a trial in about 2 or 3 years.
It's not just a healthy body Walker is excited about. The 5'8" is part of a new-look superstar left edge at Souths, featuring recruit David Fafita and Latrell Mitchell, who's moved from fullback to centre.
The strike that they have on that side of the field, it attracts a lot of numbers, so that opens up my running game, which sort of, makes me quite dangerous.
36-year-old Walker is out of contract at the end of the season and is unsure if he'll play on.
We'll see how the season goes, see about 10 to 12 games in and see how the body's holding up, and we'll make a decision together as a club and we'll just see what happens. I've given it no thought.
One incentive to stick around is playing alongside Payne Haas, who's bound for the Bunnies in 2027.
It is unbelievable news. Probably the best prop in the game. One of my mates, so it'll be good to have him on board. He's a beautiful human, mate. He's a true leader. What you see on the field is what you get off the field, if not even more.
Haas signed with Souths for the chance to play under Wayne Bennett. The 76-year-old coach is reportedly on the verge of signing a contract extension.
He still has his nap every now and then, but he's still got his energy and still got his charisma and he's still got his wisdom.
We love him as a coach and the club loves him and we love having him around, so the longer he stays, the better the place is.
Luke Dovesey, 9 News.
The Matildas insist there's no pressure on their superstar striker Mary Fowler in the upcoming Asian Cup. With her teammates impressed, she's able to play it all in her first major tournament back from ACL surgery.
Whenever she's on the pitch, something exciting is always happening, so I'm excited for her. I think she's got no pressure on her. I think she just needs to enjoy her football, enjoy the moment and just be proud that she's been able to get back and push herself to how she is today.
First choice goalkeeper Mackenzie Arnold didn't finish today's training session, remaining in doubt for Sunday's clash against the Philippines. Well, Steve Smith is sitting out the remainder of the season, but fellow Aussie superstar Travis Head has made himself available for South Australia in the Sheffield Shield, hoping to lift his side back-to-back titles.
I want to involve myself as much as I possibly can, and I know that has been limited over the last few years, but really keen to contribute again this week, and like I said, in such an important game for the state, it'll be nice to hopefully contribute.
In between matches, Head will tee off in the Pro-Am at the Women's Australian Open, which he admits makes him more nervous than a cricket match actually would. And Australia's women's team is facing a tricky chase in the second one-dayer against India and Hobart. The tourists in their dig, posting 9 for 251 from their 50 overs. Alana King, Ash Gardner and Annabelle Sutherland all taking 2 wickets for the Aussies. Georgie, that's your sport from Vegas. See you tomorrow night on the eve of what's set to be a brilliant big fixture here in Vegas. The place absolutely pumping.
Don't you have too much fun, James Bracey. Thank you for that. We'll see you soon. Still to come, the modern materials helping hip replacement patients get their money's worth. And the hardcore Aussie beer now with a softer side for a new generation of drinkers.
It was a busy Friday for investors. Coles announced a bigger profit and dividend, but it was still smashed by investors, having its worst day in months. Not because it's facing price gouging accusations in court, but because the profit didn't meet expectations. Overall, the ASX finished the week near record highs, but Commonwealth Bank was in the spotlight after reporting itself to police over fears $1 billion worth of home loans could be fraudulent. Not a good look for the country's biggest bank. Meanwhile, the Australian dollar remains near 3-year highs as we head into the weekend. And finally, Australia Post today handed down a $50 million half-year profit, which is down sharply on last year. It's hoping to be approved for another stamp price hike, but the CEO says that still won't be enough.
And I don't think our mail business will ever get to a point where it's break even. We are chasing our tail literally every half.
The only good news is most people won't notice. Only 3 out of every 100 letters are sent by individuals. The rest are sent by businesses.
Thank you, Chris. Changes on the horizon for Australian cruising. Carnival Adventure to now split her time between Australia and the United States. The company says it's taking advantage of more favourable market conditions elsewhere. Carnival Adventure will relocate to the US for its summer from April 2028 after completing her voyages here. Hip replacements have been a game changer for the mobility of Australians since the procedures started here in the late 1960s. Now, new research has found the relief that comes with an implant these days can last at least 30 years.
At 70, Helena has just received her second hip replacement at Sydney's Mater Hospital. The other hip was done 18 years ago.
He did a good job for 18 years. I didn't feel pain. It went smoothly.
The number of hip replacements is rising in Australia. More than 60,000 surgeries performed last year.
There's a misconception in the community amongst doctors and amongst patients that hips only last 15 years. Now, that used to be true. In the 1990s, hips did last 15 years and then they wore out. But the materials have changed significantly.
Data from joint replacement registries in 8 countries, including Australia, was used in the Global Review, published in the Lancet Medical Journal. Advanced modelling shows most modern implants are lasting at least 3 decades.
93% of hips will still be functioning well at 25 years and 92% are still functioning at 30 years.
My doctor said that I can live with it the whole my life.
Newer generation ceramics and far better plastic liner technology, the workhorse of the implant, has resulted in far less wear.
It's a ball and socket joint, it's the plastic liner, and I tell people it's a bit like wearing out the tyres in your motor car. The rubber does not wear out anymore.
The average age of someone receiving a hip replacement in Australia is 68. The latest review also reassuring for younger patients who need surgery as a last resort.
These include patients less than 30. We'd certainly like people to get to retirement age if they can, but if they're disabled, it's no longer a concern like it used to be.
Gabriella Rogers, 9 News.
It's a sign of the times. VB has responded to changing habits around a hard-earned thirst, launching a new mid-strength beer. Around 1/3 of Australian beer sales now contain low alcohol content or none at all.
Echoing throughout lounge rooms for decades.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer.
You know the rest, and the best cold beer is...
But when you got to get up, because there's more work to do. Well, VB's got a mid-strength now too.
Carlton and United breweries rolling out a softer edge to this Aussie icon.
Similar, same big bold flavour, but only one set of drink per can.
It's 3.5% alcohol and comes 19 years after VB launched its first mid-strength beer.
That was quite different. That was a watery and weak liquid. It was in a yellow can and it was only 3% in alcohol.
The brewer wants success in an evolving market, with the top 2 best sellers in the country now mid-strength beers. But getting the balance right can be thirsty work.
It's definitely a challenge. I mean, VB isn't ours, VB is Australia's. It's an iconic brand up there with Qantas, Bunnings, Vegemite.
If lighter is what you're after, you can save money too. A slab of these is about $5 cheaper than the competitors, and looks can be deceiving.
Let's say you're having a beer with a mate on a Friday afternoon and perhaps don't want to say you're having a mid-strength beer. Turns out they'll never know because, matter of fact, I got one now. Cheers.
Look basically identical.
As for whether it passes the pub test,
you can taste the difference.
You can taste the difference, but it's good. It's good. It's better than I thought.
Are you surprised?
I am actually. It tastes just like VB, but it is a little bit lighter.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'll give it a 9.
Ollie Haig, 9 News.
Thieves in London wasted no time during this smash and grab, driving their scooter straight into a jewellery store before taking a sledgehammer to it. The masked men used a machete to keep members of the public at a distance, making off with gold-plated bracelets and earrings. It's a hotly contested honour, and the results are in. IGA has taken out the award for Best Rotisserie Chicken, bringing Costco's 5-year winning streak to an end. Nearly a quarter of people surveyed by CanStar say they include a roast chicken in their regular grocery shop. And a cheeky 4% revealed they've passed off a supermarket chook as their own cooking. Coming up, Kate with the weekend weather.
We're in for a mostly cloudy weekend with the chance of a few showers, but it shouldn't rain on the parade at Mardi Gras. Right now in the city, it is 22 degrees, 21 in our west. I'll have the forecast next. It was a wet day across Sydney, those showers hanging around for most of the day, but nothing like what we saw last night. Huge rainfall totals, 134 millimetres falling at Abbotsford, 122 at Lidcombe, more than 100 recorded at Avalon and Mona Vale, while the city picked up 86 millimetres, almost 3/4 of the monthly average in just a few hours. That slow-moving trough also kept a lid on temperatures, 24 degrees in the city, Kellyville and Parramatta, and 25 at Liverpool and Campbelltown. Today, that rain system moved further north to the central coast, 97 millimetres recorded at Wambrel, while an easterly onshore flow has also delivered heavy rain to the northern rivers this afternoon. Lismore has seen more than 108 millimetres of rain so far, while Ballina and Casino have also copped a soaking. Fortunately, that system should start to clear by tomorrow. However, we are expecting some scattered showers as the trough lingers near the coast. Brisbane is looking partly cloudy with a possible shower tomorrow, 29 degrees. Cloudy in Canberra, 25 at a shower or two forecast for Melbourne, a top of 28 there. Across our state, we could still see some more coastal showers as well as some rain from a low pressure system over our far northwest, but it should be dry everywhere else. A shower or two forecast for Wollongong, 24 degrees. The chance of showers for Newcastle to a top of 27. Here in Sydney, we are expecting a mostly cloudy day for the last day of summer, but if we do get some showers, they won't dampen spirits at Mardi Gras. Only a few millimetres are expected, if anything. After an overnight low of 21, the city is headed for a top of 27 degrees, about the same across our suburbs. 26 forecast for most places, 25 at Cronulla and Terry Hills. Those showers expected to be slightly heavier across our west, but they should ease throughout the day. Taking a look ahead to Sunday, showers lingering, but only a few millimetres forecast at 27 degrees for the first day of autumn. The sky should clear on Monday, partly cloudy, 28. It's looking fairly similar on Tuesday, 27, warming up to 29 on Wednesday and Thursday. It looks like a nice start to autumn in our west, 27 on Sunday, 28 on Monday and Tuesday, warming up a little by the middle of next week, and by the looks of it, it should be much drier too, Georgie.
That's probably good to hear. Thank you, Kate. And that is 9 News for this Friday. Ali's up next with a current affair. I'm Georgie Gardner. Thanks for being with us. Enjoy your evening. Good night.